Hi beauties, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about my Sephora Beauty Insider sale recommendations. I know that I'm a little bit late, but there will still be time for you to use some of my recommendations during the sale. So if you'd like to find out more, then just keep watching. First, let me say, I had a little bit of a sound issue and I just recorded this video and I'm recording it all over again. So let's talk about my recommendations for this spring sale. I will try to go in order of how I would apply this to my face. So first, let's talk about primers. I probably have recommended this primer in the past. I've talked about it a lot in my favorites. This is the Ysl Touche Eclat Blur Primer, and this is the gold one. You can see gold flecks here in the bottle. This primer has a lot of slip to it, that silicone feel, although I'm not sure if that's in here, but it does blur the skin. But what I really like is the radiance that it gives me. I do have it on today and I like the radiance, and I just love how my makeup looks. And even though I have combo skin and I get oily in my T-zone, this does not make me oilier. It doesn't necessarily make me matte. It's going to give you a more radiant finish, but it just looks beautiful and I love it. This is my favorite primer. It's a little pricey and now will be a good time to purchase it. Another primer that I'd like to mention is an all-time favorite as well. This is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer Base, and this is the limited edition one, and I have used quite a bit of it. And I use this today in my T-zone area. That's typically how I like to use it, although you could use this all over. It does mattify, it does blur, like if you press it into the pores, it will smooth over your pores. It's very similar to like the Professional, except to me, I think this mattifies more. And I really like it. It's in a beautiful jar without the limited edition top, I'm sure, but it's really, really good. And it's the other primer that I would recommend to you guys. I love this. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, and it hasn't been in my collection that long, although it has been on the market for a while, and I really like this. I forgot to use this today. I meant to put it on underneath my makeup. I typically use it all over, or sometimes I do use it like in my high points here underneath my makeup, and I just think it adds a nice radiance under makeup. But I have also used this product by itself. If I was just running out to the grocery store and I wanted something to make me look just a little bit better than normal, then I would put this on. I think this is a perfect time to try something like this because it's different. And I think that if you didn't buy anything else as far as a complexion product and you bought something like this, that it would add something different to your makeup look, and it's worth trying right now. Foundations that I love. 4 foundations that I want to mention. One is not here. I really love the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. I think my shade is 9.5. It just always gives me a beautiful makeup look. I've repurchased it before and will repurchase it again. I always love how my makeup looks whenever I wear that. I think that the tone of it is a little bit more golden and it just looks beautiful on my skin. And I don't care if anybody ever talks about that one. I love that foundation. But I don't have it, so I'll pop up a picture. It's in my other home. The other foundation I want to mention that is another Holy Grail foundation that I have loved forever. It was one of the first high-end foundations that I purchased. It was a winner. A lot of the things that I bought that were my first high-ends, they were winners. I did good. That was the Makeup Forever HD foundation. My shade is Y445. Amber, I think might be what it's called. I've been wearing it forever. I have re-upped on it more than one time. I don't talk about it as much here, but I still go back to it and love it. It practically disappears on the face when you put it on. It just looks so natural. It looks great in picture and video. That HD component, high def, okay, looks great. I don't know what's in it that makes it look so good, but it looks amazing. It's one of the best-selling foundations at Sephora. If you search for foundations and you look for best-selling, this is on up there, but you don't hear people talking about it that much. It's one of those foundations that I think people go back to over and over again, like loyal customers, even though we may not be talking about it that much on YouTube. Everybody still wears it. And I will be one of those everybody's that continues to wear it. Another foundation that I have that I love, that I discovered a year or so ago, but it's been out a while, is the YSL All Hours foundation. It's like a long wear foundation. It feels great on the skin. It feels like second skin. And I only have to use one pump to get full coverage. One pump is all it takes, and it just looks beautiful on my skin. I wore this in my Cover Effects monochromatic bronzer video, as well as the same day I filmed how to look 10 years younger with makeup video. I filmed a video about that, and I had this on, and it was beautiful. And when I wear it, like I wore it home for Christmas this year, my mom was like, whatever foundation you were wearing was great. What was that? She asked about it. That's how good it looks. This one is a little bit pricier, so now would be a good time to purchase this. The shade, I'm sorry, my shade is B70 Mocha. My final foundation is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. My shade is 18. It's a little bit light, so if you're looking for a shade reference, you may want to go a little darker. I purchased it online, so I did my best with my shade match. So I could use a little bit deeper shade, but I have it on today, and once I add on bronzer, it always looks great. So I'm not sure if I will buy a deeper shade. It's in a frosted bottle. There are mixed reviews about this foundation. I don't think everyone loves it as much as I do, but I love it. Every time I wear it, I always like how my makeup looks, and it doesn't do me wrong. It's expensive. It's more expensive than your average foundation. That's one of the reasons why I think people are like, why is it so expensive? But I can see a difference in my makeup. I can certainly tell a difference when I'm wearing this in video and when I'm not wearing it. I can tell a difference. So it's something about this stuff. I recommend it, and I think now would be a good time to try something like this because it's a little bit more expensive than other foundations. I love it. And I like it so much and like the packaging so much that I just keep it in the box. Concealers. I have lots of concealers that I love at Sephora, but the ones that I want to recommend today, I only have two that I want to recommend from Sephora today. One is the Nars Radiant Creamy, and this one is in Biscuit. It is one of those holy grail concealers that I have never been without since I've been wearing it. I love this concealer. It's just a perfect everyday concealer. It's a couple of shades lighter than my foundation, and this one is peachy in color, so it's good for helping conceal dark circles and color correcting. So I really like this one. It's beautiful by itself, but I also like using this Giorgio Armani concealer. I can never remember the shade because the print is so tiny, but I will link it below. And this is a little bit lighter than this one. So I also use this today just to kind of brighten a little bit more under my eye. I don't like to use this one alone because it doesn't conceal my dark circles. The texture and consistency of this one is great. It's a little bit thinner in consistency. Neither of these crease under the eye or get caught up in wrinkles. It doesn't cling to dry patches. These are beautiful and I love them. So these are the two that I would recommend. If you have dark circles, you may want to go with this one, but if you don't have that problem and you just like a beautiful natural finish, you will love the Armani. Powders. I talked about these in a recent favorites, and I don't really have to spend a lot of time talking about them because everybody talks about La Mercier. This is the translucent, this is the medium deep. I like both of them. I have them both on today. I use this in my T-zone. I use this in the perimeter of my face. The medium deep is just gorgeous on deeper skin. You could use this in place of or in lieu of a bronzer if you have fairer skin. These are just my favorite face powders sold at Sephora. I also like Chanel. That's another one I love. I like Huda Banana Bread, and I like Fenty Banana as well if you are looking for something other than La Mercier. There are a couple other powders that I'd like to try and some others that I have used there, but these are probably my top three. These are still the reigning queens. I love them. It is so late and I'm so hungry because I have not eaten. I also want to recommend the Sephora MicroSmooth powder. This one is in bronze. This is actually a powder foundation, so you could use this by itself. It is so great when you're in a hurry and you want to get ready quickly. This is beautiful and it just smooths everything. It does exactly what it says, MicroSmooth. Love it. You can also use this to set your liquid foundation, and it's beautiful. And I didn't use it today, but a lot of times I like to use it right in this area because when my highlighter is on top of this, it is much smoother than when it's on top of a loose powder. This particular powder just adds a smoothness to my skin that is definitely noticeable. I love this shade for powder foundation, but I really would like to have it as a lighter shade to see how I would like it for setting under the eye. That's how nice it is. And it's a Sephora collection, so it is very affordable. So I love this. Oh, I have one more powder product. It's not quite the same as the other powders, but I do want to talk about it in the powder family. This is the Ambient Lighting Powder Radiant Light. And I have this on today. It is like a finishing powder that adds radiance. It's very subtle, but not subtle. How do I explain that? I can always tell when I have on a radiant powder, but it is subtle. Like, it's not going to take the place of a highlighter, but it adds little sparkles, little shimmer, little radiance all over your face. So I like this one, and this one is in the shade Radiant Light. And I also like my Lancome powder, the loose powder. I like that a lot too, but that's not sold at Sephora, but this is. So this is really great. Hourglass is not the cheapest products. So now would be a good time to purchase something like this. If you like something that adds a little something to your complexion and just takes it to the next level, this is good. Oh, I meant to tell you guys this too. The puff that comes with the La Mercier is so nice. Like right here, guys, it is perfect. Like if you want to just take the shine down on your skin a little bit, it's great for that. But it is just really pretty. It just helps to really press powder into your skin. So the puff would also be something good to add right now if you were ever interested in it, because it's on sale, because there's a sale. There's a sale. Since I've just mentioned a tool, let me talk about a couple of other tools. This brush by Tarte is also something I would recommend as a foundation brush. I love buffing in my liquid foundation with this. I can also use it for powder, but I love this brush. It is synthetic, even though it's lighter in color, and I like the size of it. It's just large enough to really buff it in very quickly and smoothly, and it is by Tarte, and it's like a bamboo, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll link it down below. But I love this brush, my favorite foundation brush. These are two Sephora brushes that I want to mention, but I did want to mention these two because I used them today and I really like them. This is the, I have to do this, guys, you know, can't see. This is the Pro Airbrush Detail 57. It's smaller. And then the other one is the Pro Flawless Airbrush 56, and it's larger. This one is really kind of like for foundation, but I use it for concealer because it's a little bit small for me. And this one I also use for concealer. So I use this one like to put the larger amount of concealer on everywhere, you know. And then I will use the smaller one to kind of get those corners that's hard to get. Or you can use it for small spots here if you want to conceal little marks. This is also good for that. Any Sephora brush that I purchased, I loved. These two are very good. This is another ridiculous brush, guys. This is the Sarat Artiste face brush, and it comes in its own little coffin. And it's just beautiful. It's really pretty. It has like an ombre handle. It's amazing. And I actually filmed a video on this brush recently. This video will go up before that one. But this is, I'm not going to tell you the price. You guys look it up. This is the most expensive brush sold at Sephora. It is a squirrel haired brush. And it's amazing. If you're going to buy this type of product, now would be the time to do it. It does just about everything. Like I used it today for bronzer. You can use it for blush. You can use it for powder. It is so soft and amazing on the skin, and it just causes everything to just meld into the skin. It just looks, your makeup application is just gonna be quite different than with other brushes, and I do really like it. But I'm not telling you guys to go out and buy something like this. I got it with my employee discount because I had been eyeballing it and wanted it. I'm not telling you guys to buy it, but now would be a good time to do it. I'll mention a quick brow product. Today I used this Perfect Brow. I think that's the name of this one by Anastacio Beverly Hills. It's usually this long, but I've used it so much and I've just been trying to finish it before opening up my next brow product. I like using the Brow Wiz most of the time, but there was a point in time when I was wearing this little thing out and I loved it. And it does sharpen, and I typically don't like pencils that sharpen, but this one is made of a really good wood, and so it doesn't get eaten up by my pencil sharpener, and it's been great. And it's dark brown, and it's going to give you a little bit heavier brow, but this has been good. As you can tell, I've been using it up. Also, speaking of brows, my favorite brow gel is the Anastacio brow gel, but I also like the Benefit brow gel as well, but I haven't purchased that one in a while. So right now I have Anastacio. It's not that expensive, but it's expensive for a brow gel, but it is good. Now might be a good time to check it out. I'm going to finish the complexion before talking about eyeshadow. But let's go ahead and talk about contour products because I only have a couple. I'm pretty sure I talked about this last year. This is Kevyn Aucoin. Look at it. Comes in this nice little velvet pouch. And it is such a pretty package. And it's the smallest little product probably in my collection. Look at it. It's even got a little tiny mirror. But this is such a beautiful contour powder. It's the perfect shade. It's not warm. It's a perfect neutral contour product. This one is the darkest one. They have lighter ones if you like, but it just chisels out your face really nicely. I'm not going to add more because I have on a lot of product, but I did use this today with another contour product. I like kind of doubled up. This one is one that I might use if I want a softer contour, but it definitely gets the job done. And I did use it today to contour my nose here, but really, really nice. It's pretty pricey for this little powder, but honestly, if you buy this powder, you don't need another contour product. It's great by itself. This little joker does a lot. This is probably the newest contour product that I've purchased in my collection by Makeup Forever. And I think that this one is the S118, but I will link it below along with the other products here because I love the highlighter and the blush as well. But this contour has more red in it, and it's definitely deeper for deeper skin. It's deeper than my Kevyn Aucoin for sure. So it just gives you a different kind of look, and I really have been enjoying it and wearing it out. So those are the two contour products. Let me say too, guys, Makeup Forever makes really great products, but I don't hear people oohing and ahhing over Makeup Forever anymore. But every time I've purchased a Makeup Forever product, I've never gone wrong. It's been so good. You purchase this case by itself for a really small amount, like $2, and then you purchase the products that go inside, and you can mix and match. You don't have to use the colors that I use. They have other contour shades, blush shades, and highlighter, and you can mix this up. You can make it a complete contour palette. You can make it just a blush palette, a highlighter palette, whatever you want. That's what I like about it, but I also think that it may cause people not to purchase it because that makes you have to think about what you want to put in this. And some people just want it to be done for them. But if you have the time and the energy and you want to make your own personalized palette, this is great. I bought the trio, but they also, I think, have it in a duo as well, or just a single. So whatever you want to do. But I really like these products. They have been so, so good. You know, I'm the bronzer queen, so let's talk about bronzer. I would probably recommend this little baby every time that I talk about bronzer. You know it. It's what, guys? The Becca Ipanema Sun. It's a Becca Sunlit bronzer, but the shade that I like is Ipanema Sun. It's just this perfect bronzer shade for me. And it's hard to tell on my hand here. Can you see that? There you go. It's warm, but it just looks beautiful on my skin tone. So I love this. And they have it in different shades. I like it because it's not completely matte. It's got a little bit of radiance to it, and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. I've loved it since the first day that I've used it. It went straight to #1 and has been there ever since. So it's my favorite. Love that one. I'd also like to recommend Fenty's bronzers. The Fenty Coco Naughty and Fenty Bejan Gyal. Did I get it right? I always get it wrong, y'all know. So Coco Naughty is this one, and it's deeper, and Bejan Gyal is warmer. And I wanted something warmer and different, so I picked this one. There is a caramel shade in between the two. I use this one the most and like this one the most, but I also use this one. It's a darker brown. This is warmer. I have both of them on today, but mostly this one. I love these bronzers. They are matte bronzers, and they are so good. And I like the shade selection. I think there's a deeper shade than Coco Naughty if you have darker skin. I think these are very much so worth purchasing. Another bronzer that blew my mind probably within the last year when I tried it is this one by Cover FX. The one thing I don't like is the packaging. It looks like a bar soap. Don't like that. But the powder inside is beautiful. I actually dedicated a video to this product here on my channel if you'd like to see me testing it out. This powder is so soft and easy to blend, and then this adds like a radiance if you'd like to add that. So you can either wear it all matte or you can mix the two together, but it's beautiful. The only problem is that this is the deepest shade. There are only 2 shades of this. This is the darkest. So if you're much darker than me, you won't have a shade for you. But if you are my complexion or lighter, because there is a lighter one, this is definitely worth checking out. I was on this kick for a while. The final bronzer I want to recommend that you try out is the Guerlain Terracotta number 5. They used to have a number 7. I'm not sure about an 8, but I think there was a 9. They discontinued their deeper shades. I don't think they were selling as well, even though they were good too. I used to have the number 7. I still have it. But I repurchased number 5 because I wanted a newer one. I'd had them so long. And the reason I recommend this one is not only is this powder amazing, but the packaging is just beautiful. I think that when there's a sale, that's the perfect time to purchase something that's unique. So a lot of the products that I'm recommending are things that are just unique and different and collector's items if you love makeup. They have good products inside, but the packaging or something about it is really special. What it does, like this ambient powder, very special. Like this is special. So I think that a sale is a great time to buy something like this. And this is what the powder looks like. It is earthier, redder, has a little bit more red in it than some of the others. But this one is just beautiful. And it was the first high-end bronzer that I purchased, and I just love it. And it's not completely matte either. It has like a little bit of a shimmer in it. It is very fragrant, so if you don't like fragrance in your makeup, you may not like this. But the packaging, just the way they made this case, blows my mind. And I love it. Let's talk about blush and then highlighter. These are new to my collection, so I wanted to mention Nars blushes. I think that Nars is known for having good blush. I have Orgasm as well. I just don't have it over here. The regular Orgasm, and it's very pretty, soft, beautiful pink. This one is Dominate, and then this one is Orgasm Extreme. They are very deep as far as their color. Orgasm Extreme is not super deep. Anybody could probably use that one, but it is darker than the regular Orgasm. Then Dominate is like a plum wine color. And they both have a sheen. See how those look like a glossy type of blush? So they're not matte. They have sheen to them. So they're going to add this radiance to your cheek. Oh, and I think that spring and summertime is the perfect time for something like this. And during warm weather, you like that dewy look, not a matte look. It looks healthier, radiant. So that's the perfect time to purchase a blush like this, I think. So that's one of the reasons why I selected these. And it's also because it's new and I love things that are new to my collection. So these are very, very good and would recommend them. I have one other blush that I'd like to recommend to you guys. And this one is Buxom Wanderlust Primer Infused Blush. And this shade is Mykonos. And I purchased this a year or so ago. And for the longest, it was like the only blush that I would wear. My daughter discovered it as well, and I ended up buying her one because she was using it so much that I was like, look here, girl, you got to get your own. Let me swatch this one for you. See, this is more of a coral. It doesn't offer as much sheen as the other two. I left them on there so you can see it. It's not as shiny, but on the cheek, that primer infused still adds that radiance. It doesn't look matte on your cheek. I think that this is like this perfect shade, for me anyway, but it's a perfect blush shade that you could use every day. You could buy this one and get by with it for a lot of looks. So I really like this, and I think everybody was going crazy over it when it launched, and this is the shade everyone loved as well. Let me show you guys too. Same old Sephora coconut wipes. And look at how easy it removes makeup. These are also recommended and they're affordable. Highlighter. In addition to the one that's in this Makeup Forever, I love that highlighter. It will be linked below with all the Makeup Forever stuff. I also picked up Cookie, and this one is by Benefit. It's very bright. So if you have deeper skin than mine, it might be a little much. It's a little bit much for me. Like, I don't wear this one typically by itself. I usually wear it with something else. So today I have it on, but I have it on top of another highlighter because it's so in your face when it's by itself. But if you have fair skin, this would be great by itself, I'm sure. But it's just one of those really blingy highlighters that it just adds a spotlight that's just out of this world. And I wish they would come out with more of a champagne color. That would be nice. If they do have that, let me know, guys. Let me know what it's called. This is really nice, and it's Cookie by Benefit. These are all Becca Highlighters. If I had to tell you guys like my favorite brand of highlighters, like where I haven't gone wrong when I purchased it, I would tell you guys Becca. And I'm going to show you guys the magic. So the first like high-end highlighter that I ever purchased was Champagne Pop. Thank goodness. I wasn't a highlighter wearer. This is Champagne Pop. After this, I did, look at this. Like, it's so smooth. It's so smooth. This one is the Chrissy Teigen one, and it's kind of got a mixture of highlighter and blush and bronzer in it, and I just swirl them together and still get a highlighter. Very soft, beautiful. This is like a rose color one, but it's very subtle, I believe. I like opal. I have a little sample of opal. And this one was like a copper shade that I used to wear as blush. It was pretty as well. So if I had to recommend a company, I would recommend Becca Highlighters, whichever color suits your skin tone the best. But they are like always a winner. You can't go wrong with Becca. Another highlighter that I talked about here on my channel all the time that is a little more expensive is the Dior Nude Luminizer. And the packaging is pretty. It comes in a nice velvet pouch here. This one is Nude Glow. The only thing is my compact broke after many uses. And you can tell it's been loved. But I love this highlighter. It looks a little bit like Champagne Pop right there. But it is beautiful. And see how beaming that is? It's so smooth on the skin and it is beautiful. Now I put it on top of my skin after I used that wet wipe. So that's probably the reason why it's so in your face blinding, but it can also be extremely subtle. You can build it up to be very bold, but it's also very subtle on the skin. I love it so much. So if you want something really special, this Dior one is so beautiful. The final product I want to mention this in the highlighter family is this Fenty How Many Carats and the brush. And I'm going to put some more. I've worn it out on my shoulder here though, but it adds these diamonds, how many carats? And this is perfect for the body. I love using this when I'm applying it to my body. And it just adds glitter and it's just beautiful. But I have also worn this on the face and I use a beauty blender most of the time to get that shimmer on my face. But it's very different. It doesn't feel like a highlighter. It's something else. It's different. So again, I like recommending things that are a little bit different. So this is perfect as we get to warmer weather because you can put it on your body when you go out and it just adds something different. It definitely gets attention, okay? If you don't like attention, don't get that. Let me talk about one palette that also has highlighter in it, but it's not really about the highlighter, it's the palette. So this is the Diamond and Blush palette, and this one is Citrus. I have been forgetting to tell you guys that this is Citrus. There's another one that's a little bit lighter, but the reason I wanted to recommend this one is it's on sale right now, or at least it was as of yesterday. And I actually bought it 50% off myself. So it was like $80-something palette for $40-something. Plus if you get 10, 15, or 20% off, you can really get this at a bargain price if you buy it now. And it has like cream highlighter, cream blush, powders, highlighters, and this Duo Glow product. I actually used it today. It's the cheek color I have is mostly this, but I also put a little bit of the powder one on. And then I used the Glow Extreme highlighter. It's the same one in the Bloom palette too. And it is so pretty on the skin. So the highlighter alone is amazing, but the blush is beautiful. And it's just the perfect colors for spring. And it's nice. I like it. So I would definitely recommend that you check out that face palette. I'm loving this Anastacio Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer. This particular one I got in Point Perks, but the mini is the only size that I have seen that they sell, and I don't know how much is in the mini. I don't know if this is the same as the mini, but it only takes the tiniest amount for my eyeshadow looks. Like, you don't have to use much of this at all. It is so good, and I used it today. It's great. Now let's talk about eyeshadows. There are a couple of eyeshadow palettes that I would recommend that are not here. They're in my other home. I would recommend the Anastacio Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. That's the only palette where I have hit pan in multiple places. I've used that palette more than any other palette ever. It's beautiful for everyday makeup, but you could also glam it up even more. So that one I definitely recommend, along with a lot of ABH palettes. I also recommend the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. It was a favorite of mine forever. I probably filmed more videos wearing that palette because it was so versatile and has so many shades in it. So I also recommend that. One palette that I want to recommend is also by Urban Decay. I've realized that I really like the Urban Decay formula, but I want to recommend the Naked Heat. I bought this palette for my best friend for Christmas, and she and her niece, who also uses the palette, love this palette. They have deeper skin than me, and this palette is a darker skinned girl's friend. It's just like made for women of color, I think, but other people can use it too. There are quite a few shades here that are lighter, so it's not necessarily just for women of color, but it is one of those palettes that women of color will definitely get a lot of use out of. I'm gonna swatch some of the shimmers just so you guys can see a couple here that I like. These shimmers alone are just so beautiful, and the mattes are so easy to blend and give such a beautiful look. You can wear an all matte look. It's just a great palette. I also like the Naked Cherry. I've used the Naked Cherry more than this one, but I think people probably like this one better, the Naked Cherry. It's just one of my favorites. But both of those, as well as the Born to Run, are great Urban Decay palettes. I want to mention these Sephora Pro palettes because they're a little pricey. This one is the Warm palette. I haven't used it that much. I probably got more compliments on my eyeshadow when I used this in a video. I think it was an October favorites video I did last year, and everybody commented on my eyeshadow to the point where I redid it. You guys loved my eyeshadow, and I was wearing this palette. So it's got a black, it's got beautiful colors, and it's got so many shades in it. It's very professional feeling. It's a beautiful matte black case, but these are a little bit more expensive, like $68. Now would be a good time to purchase a Sephora Pro palette. I'm gonna have to get it back out. I'm gonna get it on my vanity so that I can use it more. I just kind of forget about it. This is a Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette. One of the reasons I recommend this is because I think the quality of this little nude palette is so good. You can do a full eyeshadow look with this nude palette. It has like a transition shade. It has a deepening shade to add dimension, and it has shimmers. And these look more like what you would wear every day. I actually will reach for this little bitty palette over a whole lot of other palettes on a daily basis. I love this palette. It's the perfect opportunity to try Natasha Denona without buying the larger palettes. It's great. I also want to mention the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette. It's also another favorite of mine. I just think the shades are very pretty, warm. I'm a warm person, but those pops of purple and some of the shimmers are just definitely different duochrome colors. I have hit pan, and there is a little bit of a glitter here as well that I don't really use, but I know I could use it if I wanted to. I also have a couple of the non-pan palettes. I like the nude one that I just bought. This is just a very, very beautiful palette. I used it today to create the eyeshadow look that I'm wearing. I use this palette, and I just think that they blend very pretty, and I love the color scheme, and it's just a fun palette, and it's $65, so now would be a good time to buy it on sale. The final palette that I want to mention is one by Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. This packaging is busted, but I think it's so pretty that I don't want to throw it away. This is the packaging of the palette, and it is just this beautiful black sleek color. It's very heavy duty, and it's the only palette that I have that has a beveled mirror. You hate to even throw this away if you were to hit pan. It's that type of palette that I would probably keep and just put it on display somewhere. But it is so gorgeous. My favorite color, I believe, is this red. I wore this palette, one of the prettiest looks I created, in a favorites video last year sometime. I had on a hat. So you guys go back and find that one. I had on like a Myrtle Beach hat, and I had this red on, and it was just beautiful. And then I swatched the gold just now. This is not an everyday kind of palette. This is, to me, a palette that you wear for special occasions. But you can get an everyday look. Like, you could do these browns and then maybe use one of these muted shimmers on your lid, and it would be very pretty. But some of these are just not for every day. They're just not. They're just not made that way. They're made for something more. This is more of a night on the town, collector's item type of palette, not necessarily for every day. If you're looking for something that you can wear every day and look amazing and not look like you're doing too much, go with one of the others that I've recommended. If you're looking for a collector's item, this is it. I want to mention Pat McGrath Lip Liners. They are good, very creamy. The only thing is I wish that she had a brown that was lighter than this one. I bought 2 of her lip liners. I bought this deeper brown, which is Ground Control, but before that I bought a different one that I can't remember what the name of it is, and it's too light. But this one is a little bit too deep for me, but if you have darker skin than me, you would probably love this. It reminds me of Chestnut by MAC. And the other one that I like, that I'd like to recommend, is this Charlotte Tilbury one. This is my old one. I actually have a new one that I haven't opened yet. And see the brown, lighter brown? This is more my speed. Like, it's a more medium colored brown, and this is deeper. I wish that Pat made this color. I used the Charlotte Tilbury one today. This is a lot creamier. I have quite a few lip products to mention. Let me go ahead and start with my more affordable lipstick brand. This is Becca. I love that it has the magnetic case, and this particular color is a new color to my collection. Blaze, maybe, is the color of this one. And I like this color a lot, but it's fairly new. I had it on in a video recently, I believe. And then I bought a new one. I re-upped on this. One is at my other home, Tulip. And I like Tulip. It reminds me of Spanish Pink by Tom Ford that I'm getting ready to talk to you guys about in a moment. But these are like maybe $24, I think. These are much cheaper than a lot of the lipstick products that are sold at Sephora. I think you will really like these Becca lipsticks. I think they're creamy and beautiful. I love them. I bought a second one because I was wearing it every single day. I like wore it out. I loved it that much. The ones I want to mention are very similar in color. I have on today, I mixed my Spanish Pink. So I'm getting ready to show you, like, that's how much I have left of Spanish Pink. I need to buy another one, I think. And it's like a $55 lip. It was less expensive when I bought it, like $53. That's Spanish Pink, and look how close it is to the Becca. And then I have Twist of Fate. And I'm going to put it beside the other color that I just bought. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. So that's Twist of Fate. Can you believe it? I bought lipsticks that look practically the same. This is my favorite lipstick formula. It's creamier. It's pretty. I probably could touch up a little bit here. I do have on lip gloss on top. We're going to talk about that too. But it's like the creamiest lipstick I've ever tried. And I just love the Tom Ford formula. So now would be a good time to try it. But if that's too rich for your blood, I just showed you 2 colors that are the same. They're half the price. Half the price. Glosses. Today I topped my lipstick with my Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar. This is my favorite lip gloss formula. I love like the color of this one. It's like a whiter color. It's lighter, so it kind of lightens any lipstick you put it on top of. I like the color. I like the texture, the consistency of it, and they have a ton of shades. So this is just one I like to use to top glosses, but I have tried some of the other shades and I love it. I think I've tried 4 shades. It's great. I also love Hourglass in the shade Child. This is almost on empty, so I really need to re-up on it. I'm not gonna swatch it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful pink peachy nude. Love this one. On top of everything, I applied this Dior Lip Maximizer. It's like a clear lip plumper that I've been talking about so much, but it's by Dior. It is clear, but it gives you that plumping sensation. I love it. I have purchased it 3 times, but it's by Dior, so it's more expensive. Now's a good time to buy it. By now, you should be able to tell I love lip gloss. Other glosses are my Fenty Gloss Bombs. This one is Sweet Mouth. It's a new shade. And this one came in a holiday set, but it actually was still on sale for a long time after the holidays. So they may still have the holiday set, and there are 4 minis in it. The Gloss Bomb just adds this juiciness to your lips. I have the set of 4, and then I have 3 different shades of this larger one. If that tells you anything, I love it. I have Fussy, I have the original shade, and then I have this one. I love it. So good. I have some skincare, body care, and fragrance really quick, guys. The one skincare product that I want to mention that I have been loving, I've already purchased it again. This is a new one. The other one that I have is at my other home. The first one I received in gratis. And this is the Drunk Elephant La La Retro Whipped Cream. And it is actually one of the top selling moisturizers at Sephora. I like to use this at night. It has 6 rare African oils in it. Ceramides, it says on here as well. It's so good. And I love the Drunk Elephant packaging. I hate to waste any, but I'm going to just for you guys. You're so special. So I like how you just press down and your product comes out the top. And it's this really nice creamy moisturizer, but it's not heavy on the skin. But I do like it at night over using it during the day, but you could use it nighttime or daytime. But I love how it feels on my skin. Drunk Elephant has amazing skincare. Amazing skincare. You guys know that I'm telling the truth, right? Another product that I want to recommend is the Bum Bum Cream, or the Bum Bum Cream by Sol de Janeiro, the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream. And this used to be all the rage a few years ago, and I need some more, as you can tell. But it smells so luscious. It smells so good, and it has a little bit of a shimmer that when you're in the sunlight and you put this on your skin, you can see a little bit of the shimmer in it, and it feels great on the skin. The packaging is so cute, and it's just a fun product. I love it. Also by Sol de Janeiro is the Glow Motions Coco Cabana Bronze Glow Oil. This is the shade that I selected for myself. It's a glow oil that you put all over your body. It's perfect for summertime. It's getting warm outside. Hopefully we'll be able to get out and interact with each other at some point. It's just going to make your skin look great, and it's not sticky. There are some other body oils that I tested in store by other brands that I felt were too sticky for me. But this one is not too sticky, and it smells like the Bum Bum Cream here. So love it, and I would recommend that if you're looking for a glow oil. This is empty. Don't know why I keep it around. I think because I just want to remind myself to go buy it again. This is the Flower Bomb by Viktor & Rolf. I enjoyed this fragrance. It's a very sweet fragrance, and whenever I would wear it out, I would get compliments on it from men. They like Flower Bomb. I think the reason I haven't purchased it again is I got a bunch of them as point perks, and so I've been using those. So eventually I will go out and buy that again myself. I did purchase the Bon Bon fragrance by Viktor & Rolf as well, and this one I just love the packaging, and I think that was one of the reasons why I wanted it. It smells similar to this one. It's sweet as well, but not the exact same. But I wanted this packaging in my room. I just like it. And I've used about half of it. It's really good as well. I would recommend this because it's beautiful and it smells good. The other one that is new to my collection that I really like is this Ysl Libre, and I haven't had it very long. It is so good, guys. I talked about it in a recent favorites and haul video. I'm so pleased with this fragrance, so I also recommend this one as well. That concludes my video for today. I hope that I did not miss anything. If you are still looking for other recommendations, you can go back and check out all of my favorites videos where I talk about different favorites. I may not have mentioned them in today's video, and you can look at my previous recommendations video. I love a lot of products at Sephora, and we would be here for 24 hours if I talked about all of them. So you can check out some of my previous videos if you are still looking for suggestions. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will respond. And if you've not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button before you leave. So I'll be seeing you guys again very soon in my next video. So until the next time we meet again, this is Savvy, signing out.